It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies here. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yay. We have the pink ribbons. Thanks, Nima.
Thank you, Nima.
For the ribbons. This is just to join other people around the world in the awareness, creating more awareness for breast cancer. We'll be discussing that today. And I think most part of the month, this month, we'll try to talk about, just to remind people that listen, you need to get checked, get tested. How are you doing, Nima?
I'm very fine, just a bit saddened. So I'll leave that for the papers. The celebration symposium yesterday, for me, for the past 3 years that I've been attending, I didn't have such a well time like I would have expected. The debate was not gingering as I would expect. So we want to take over. Everybody wants to be president, but we don't have a structure that would work. The strongest arm of a democracy for me is the lawmaking body, the National Assembly and the Houses of Assembly. It doesn't matter who is president because, of course, the president doesn't have the power to remove any senator except the people. Right. But the senators, the people, through the National Assemblies, or the Houses of Assemblies, have the power to remove any president. I
think we've learned that from this administration.
Yeah. So we have so many candidates trying to be president. They don't have proper party structures of how to take over lawmaking houses of every area they come from. So I want to see your constituency per constituency, a project that work per constituencies across the nation during these elections. So it's not even 2019.
Work, but at least I think where we are is a starting point. And as people have an idea that, okay, there are new faces in the game, and they will probably have their learnings from this first election. Yeah. But eventually, hopefully, they need to form more formidable opposition.
Come from an information point. If it comes from a place of information, we'll be doing what we need to do. We're doing the right work. So we don't want to be making noise.
People are doing that.
We don't just know.
Doing that work. There are people that are canvassing. And even among the candidates that spoke yesterday, canvassing across board with political party having credible people going for legislation.
I was actually impressed with Fela Durote.
You will not market, you won't come and be talking about somebody's applying for one of your team members that is going for House of Assembly in Anambra but you are all together, and I've seen them on social media working. However, before we just think it is a talk shop, I feel that something came out yesterday, especially from Fela Durote, that I believe every one of us should take home. It is that we need a generational collaboration. It is that the fact that, and I wrote it down as, for you to effectively plan for the future, you need to effectively extray the past. So Fela took a long time extraying the past, and some people were bored. But I think that for us to move ahead, we need to properly look behind and check what was going on. The fact that every change we saw in Africa came from a group of people working together, as a group, as a generation.
Another thing that stuck out for me from yesterday, because we're discussing the celebration symposium yesterday, we were there yesterday. It was fantastic. And what I got out of it from the representative from Mobile Ezekwesili said something that was really profound. Listen, infrastructure development is great, but what we need more in Nigeria is a mental restructuring. And that's why I think Fela Durote comes in. Because I think, as you said, he can be the leader, but others can then do the work. But we need that leader who is forthright, who we can see that is taking us somewhere, who inspires people, because that's what leaders do. Yeah. So I think if they all come together, that collaboration, he said, my work,
when Fela spoke, he gave us like a breakdown of what had happened, through history. I wasn't bored at all. So, but there was something that Shawara said, which is, we are taking history out of the curriculum one time, and it's back. The thing is that a lot of people do not know the history of the people that present themselves to be our leaders now. So if we had history books where kids are growing up and they're reading the good, the bad, and the ugly of these people. Yes, they know that this is what these people have done. So you have people now arguing between, who is good, who is the lesser evil, and things like that. We need to know.
As Nima said, maybe we're not really 100% prepared, but I think the work has started, and people would actually, eventually, would have a new generation of leaders.
How concerned I am. Per constituency, who is going for Lagos West? That is my concern. Who is going for Amodofi and Ojo? Those are the people that I'm studying. That's the only part of the election that concerns me. So I want to see someone who will be willing to say this is gross misconduct.
These our roads are getting worse. It's almost as if everybody has gone to sleep.
No, everyone is talking about the bad roads.
Everybody has gone to sleep. All the commissioners, all the workers.
Everybody is election planning and all that.
Like,
how does that stop? I mean, is there a budget? There's something already going on. How does it stop just before? Okay.
Anyways, people, they should remember that this election we're going to do. It's not as if it's this automatic entry. So they should know it's important. Anyway, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the newspaper. It's not a funny day today because, I mean, somebody was executed yesterday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to start with the Punch. Vayoshe. I'll be at EFCC on Tuesday with my bedclothes, my pillowcase. We have no time for games, EFCC, replies Vayoshe. All workers block Imo government's house, demand salaries. Petrol price should be reviewed regularly, says marketers. Boko Haram kills another aid worker. FG bring back our girls, express shock. APC remains barred from elections in Zamfara. INEC insists. Ganduje, Kano Assembly raises panel to probe alleged bribery video. Exam malpractices, Adeleke others to be arraigned October 31st. Why are they on Vayoshe's case? The man has said he will appear this morning.
Well, let me
so what's EFCC?
Let me just break it down. Because you see all this drama is unnecessary. So, the former governor, as at yesterday, the former governor of Ekiti State...
It's not your former today now.
Former, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Former governor of Ekiti State has been invited. He's been investigated. He's not been convicted. I don't know why he's packing for prison.
He's not packing for prison.
He's been invited.
Please, Auntie, watch your mouth. So that's my governor by marriage.
He doesn't have immunity again. We don't need to watch mouth. Oga, you've been invited, undergoing investigations on a particular allegation against you. Just visit the EFCC. Like every ordinary Nigerian. Wait, let me finish. Don't dramatize. Yes. Go to the EFCC.
You are dramatizing.
Wait.
You said my name is Ayodele Fayoshe, Peter the Rock. Ask them in my village.
Somebody just died. People are in captivity. We don't need this drama.
Exactly.
See, visit them, answer their question. If you don't have answer, let them investigate. If they don't find anything against you, go back home, go abroad, go for vacation. Let the story. We don't want to hear about you. Some people are in captivity, for God's sake. They're killing people. Yeah. I don't have time for drama, pillowcase and bed rest.
Calm down. Calm down. Moving on to the nation. Buhari's travel ban on 50 VIP sparks legal battle. Federal government shocked as Boko Haram kills aid worker. Oshundare to Fayemi restore Ekiti's dignity. Kuka Oyedepo denied endorsing Atiku. Alleged exams fraud. Adeleke others charged. So our president, this travel ban thing is still raising a lot of spark. Lots of people are still against and asking him to revolt.
So people they've taken it to court to appeal because there's a court order ratifying the decision, the Order 6. It is Order 6 where 50 prominent Nigerians have been banned from traveling. 2 lawyers have filed a court of appeal. Justice Ijoma, set aside Justice Ijoma Ujuku's October 11th judgment. Now, the statement from the presidency's camp is that this is corruption fighting back, saying that when we view the precarious situation in which corruption has thrown the nation, we will better appreciate why this drastic action needs to be carried out. So they know it's drastic, but they are feeling that corruption has really, really beaten us bad, and we should do what it takes to fight back.
Adeleke is going to court 31st, here and 4 others concerning the alleged exam fraud. Moving on to the story of the day, which is about the young lady murdered by Boko Haram. Insurgents kill another Red Cross woman. Vowed to make Leah a slave. How Anita, a captain, was murdered by police, his family. And Son has the picture of both ladies. PDP bigwigs behind oil subsidy scam, says Buhari's aide. No candidates for APC in Zamfara. Presidency, I never endorsed Atiku, says Oyedepo. Protest rocks about over pipeline explosion death. Now, this story of this murder of... Yes, go ahead.
Take it. So it's, of course, with heavy hearts that we have to, talk about this today. So Hawa Liman is the Red Cross lady who had been, Boko Haram had threatened, would kill one of them, and she was shot yesterday. The government has commiserated with the family and with Nigerians. They said that they have done all that they can do, as a country. They have negotiated, left all negotiations, done all the negotiations that they could do on behalf of these girls. And What was?
But I think this is almost like an after-the-fact conversation, because we warned, everybody talked to, like, you have to come to the negotiation table. You have to be able to give Boko Haram. We understand people don't want to negotiate because obviously we don't want to keep funding arms.
Negotiations,
but at the same time,
I told you yesterday.
But negotiations were going on. The doors were open. They were talking to these people. Also, we need to understand that maybe there's something that these people are asking for.
People did not think it was going to happen.
Okay, so
terrorists around the world do not harm. No, they don't harm aid workers because they know that they get help from the aid workers. So they might kill security officials and all that, but they rarely hurt aid workers.
In this story, the Islamic State West African province, ISWAP, a faction of Boko Haram, did this. Now they are saying, as long as an aid worker, even though Muslim, because our Liman is Muslim, the other lady, Ahmad, Saifura Ahmad was Muslim. That as long as you work
for a Red Cross
or UNICEF, you are supposed to become, you have abandoned your faith, and then you become apostate, and so that's why the killing. And they brought this lady with her hands gagged in the hijab, shot her at close range, and sent a video to Nigerians. Now, this is what we are afraid of. This is why I said that these negotiations must not only be said to be done, it must be seen
to be done. Boko Haram cannot come and tell us that they stopped negotiating with us, and the government will say we are still in talks with them, and we're not in talks with the right faction. Unfortunately, everybody is in politics mode. Nobody's really talking about it, because if this had happened in some other countries, everything that would have been on standstill.
Exactly.
Everything was shut down on this matter. Would have been following the story up until 24 hours was complete. Remember, they gave them 24-hour notice this Sunday.
They did.
So everything would have been shut down monetary. But in Nigeria,
that Leah Sharibu is going through on a daily, being in isolation, in captivity,
and then the government is there,
members.
and then the government is there,
further threatening that Leah Sharibu will be, left as slave forever.
So our hearts,
we need to keep talking.
Our hearts really go out to the families. I know
we should not just talk. We should action, movement, something done.
It's painful, but I just hope that after this conversation now,
lip service
doesn't just end, because that's what happens. Everybody talks, shouts, laments, and then we move on. Okay.
It's even politicking now, so that
Vanguard
did not do enough. PDP.
I worked to reconcile, not endorse, says Bishop Kuka. Plot afoot to arrest, detain Fayose indefinitely, says PDP. Fresh crisis as Shitu sues APC over Oyo primaries. FG defends borrowing. Ganduje sues publisher as second batch of bribe videos surface. 42 senators not returning. 67 battle to return. So Bishop Kuka was saying here in the major headline that he had actually started many years back to reconcile Atiku and Obasanjo, and he thought that the meeting was just going to be him, Obasanjo, and Atiku. But when he got there, he now realized that other people were invited, and he didn't go there to endorse. Which, I mean, I think practically all the bishops and even the Islamic scholar, Gumi too, nobody really went there to endorse. They actually went there for the reconciliatory visit. Unfortunately,
so were they invited under false pretenses?
No, they invited to come and help reconcile, because even from Obasanjo's book, we know that he always likes witnesses to be there when he's having this kind of meeting.
Reconciliation of national interest?
Reconciliation of two parties, two people, two human beings.
Ganduje, we've been following the story of Governor Ganduje. The video is on Daily Nigeria, and Ganduje has sued the publisher of Daily Nigeria to court, saying that it was falsely cloned video of him that is being released. And the publisher, Gafar, had to escape for his life, even with his family.
Is it Gafar or Jafar?
Jafar, I don't know if it's Jafar.
G is Gafar.
Jafar. So he's also trying to protect himself. However, another paper carried the story that the State House of Assembly has set up a 7-man panel to probe this video to ascertain if it is authentic.
That's the House of Assembly.
In response to the people of Kano.
Fantastic.
The EFCC hasn't made any move. The police haven't opened up an investigation yet. And the commissioner has said that they should, this is all lies. The House of Assembly said that they shouldn't even take a case to court, that they should wait for the House of Assembly to ratify if it is right or wrong.
The House of Assembly don't need to look for gross misconduct. They should investigate, which is what they've done. They put together a 7-man panel.
Company has said they have 15 more videos.
And they are releasing more and more. They'll be releasing.
And they'll keep releasing. And so we'll see what happens, because this, I don't know how you can clone 15 videos.
No, how you can clone a person's face collecting money?
It's possible.
How can you clone a face collecting money?
Can't hear anybody. Yeah, sorry?
Oh,
I mean,
well.
it's possible to clone videos. We should know that. But now that they are going to investigate them, we'll know for sure if it's authentic or not.
15 different videos, please.
Unfortunately, we have to run. We can't take any more papers. Actually, I was going to take a few other stories, but I think we're taking most of the other stories. Once again, our heart goes out to the family of the young lady who was murdered by Boko Haram. And we only use this opportunity again to appeal to the federal government that we don't want to lose any more children, any more Nigerians actually on this issue, that they should please continue negotiating and hopefully get these girls back safely. Let's go on a break. When we come back, it's our Breast Cancer Month awareness, so we're going to be talking more about breast cancer. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Every October is dedicated to creating awareness for breast cancer and also to reduce the stigma through education and symptoms and treatments. On the show today, as we join other women all over the world, we have a survivor to tell us her experience and how she was able to survive cancer. Welcome with us, Joan Bekaiser. How are you doing? Good to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You can join the conversation at 070-806-68014. You could also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So it's Breast Cancer Month. Everybody's talking breast cancer. We're talking about how to detect it early. And I know you'd like to share your own experience with us, with our viewers, because lots of women are always in denial, thinking it's never happened to me. It's only happened to my neighbors. So how did you find out your condition and what did you do about it?
Oh, well, first of all, I saw it after I weaned off my son from breastfeeding. So a few months later, I discovered a lump. No, not a few months, like right after I stopped breastfeeding, I discovered a lump. I'm like, okay, it's milk glands, you know, because you have that when you stop breastfeeding. So that was how I just looked at it. I'm like, okay, I had this with my daughter, so maybe it's the same thing. But no, it wasn't. Like a few months down the road, I discovered the thing was growing bigger and I started feeling some.
So the lump was getting visibly bigger?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was something you could see just by looking at your breast? Or
yeah, me.
Or, sorry, or it was something you had to feel?
No, you can see it.
Okay.
You know, but not like as bad as touching it. When you touch it, you can feel, you know, how big it was. So that was when we decided to, when we went for vacation, we decided to go see a doctor. And that was where everything was discovered. After doing a mammogram and they did a biopsy on me, and that was when they gave me the news that it was cancerous. So by then, we have to quickly like schedule all the, you know, surgeries and treatments and all that.
So in your activism against cancer now, what is the experience of an average Nigerian when they hear this kind of news? Because I hear from your story you had to go abroad to get diagnosed, and you know you had your news broken to you. So I'm sure the measures to follow were easily taken. An average Nigerian would just panic.
Yeah.
What has the experience been like now that people are getting more aware of it? What are the opportunities out there for a solution, and you know how do they now take it in Nigeria?
Well, trust me, when I first heard about it, I freaked out. In the first place, when I discovered a lump, I'm like, no, it's nothing, you know. So, average Nigerians, right, when they hear it, of course, you're going to freak out, you'll be scared, and, you know, you'll be thinking a whole lot of, oh my God, am I going to die, and stuff like that. But no, the best thing to do when you, especially as a woman, because sometimes you don't really have to go to a doctor to find out if you have a lump or not. You can self-examine yourself, which is very easy. And no matter how small a lump that you feel, the best bet is just to go to a doctor.
Let me go back to your story, and I'll come to you, Mariam. Let me go back to your story. When you discovered, your story is slightly scary because after discovery, you're already talking surgery. So that can be scary for lots of people. Is that the automatic solution, or can it be managed without surgery?
No, you cannot. If it's cancerous, you cannot.
Okay,
They have to take it out, or else it's going to spread
Right.
You know.
People need to know that.
Okay, I just want to find out if it's okay to talk about it. Do you know the stage you had at the time? What stage? Because I hear that there are different stages, 1, 2 to 4.
It was 3, actually.
3.
Yeah.
Wow. And so what does that mean, stage 3 cancer?
It means if you don't like start up immediately, it will be too late for you.
So it had spread a
Sorry
lot.
to go back into your personal life again. You had just finished breastfeeding. How, it didn't affect the breastfeeding process?
No, it did not, because one, I didn't even know I had it, you know.
So
because
was normal?
Yeah, I had a daughter first. After my breastfeeding, after I weaned her off, I felt a lump. And normally, it's milk glands that is all hardened up. So I used like a face cloth with warm water, you know, and pressed it, and it went. Yes. So when I had my son, and I stopped breastfeeding, I felt and I discovered the same thing. I'm like, no, it's gonna go and stuff like that. But when I started having pains and feeling that the thing was growing bigger, I had to go check it out.
What I wanted to ask was that when you discovered that you had, is there in any way any family history, anybody within your immediate family, relative that has ever experienced cancer in any form?
Not that I know of, maybe my ancestors.
Because it's heavily linked to being hereditary. So you're the first person ever discovering it. Apart from you, is there anybody around you that is doing that?
No.
How often have you been getting checked after that time?
I've been twice every year, unless something drastic happens, you know, because sometimes it's not all about, you know, taking out the lump and treatment. Right after treatment, there's also side effects from all those medications.
So apart from the surgeries, were there any, because we hear about chemotherapy, did you have to do that?
And I did very high intensive radiation every day for a month.
Okay, that's different from chemo?
Yeah, that's different.
Does it make you lose your hair too?
Not that treatment, but the medication they gave me right after really took a
So yours was just a surgery. It wasn't a total mastectomy. You didn't take up the whole...
No. Oh, thank goodness. No.
So you're a survivor, you're cancer-free. How long have you been cancer-free?
15 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good news. Because
good news.
we've been hearing the same people that are having relapse.
Yes.
Relapse. How do you avoid a relapse? Do you know?
I have no idea. Right. But you just have to like do the right thing. Eat the right
thing.
Lifestyle. You know, keep going to the doctor, get checked, take your medication, because right after chemo or radiation, there's something that is supposed to be given to you to take. You know, in my own case, they gave me a drug that they call tamoxifen. And I was supposed to take it every day for 5 years. Wow. Every day.
I did that for 5 years.
I actually did it for 3 years because then we were in Louisiana, right? So when we moved to Orlando, they had to like send my medical stuff to the other doctor. And so when he saw the drug I was taking, he freaked out. And I was kind of shocked.
You obviously have a supportive husband.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he is everything. Yeah, he was. Because my kids were all toddlers. You know.
I wanted to ask about how long have you been in Nigeria, so as to frame the question well?
I'm in and out, but I moved back here last year. So it's
in relating with people on ground and in relating with the medical sector and people that are involved, what would you compare the experiences you see people having now with what you had in the better developed society?
Even in the developed society, everything has changed. Because the treatment I did, the radiation treatment I did every day for a month, they don't do it like that anymore. It's not as intense as the past years. These days they do maybe like twice a week, and you wait another week, you go twice a week. But imagine that, because by the end of the day, like I had it on my left breast, everything was dead. I mean, you can literally stab me there and I won't feel it. And I was burnt. I mean, black. My old boobs were black like this. And it takes time, you know. But it's not easy, no matter, you know, even in 1,000 years. It's not going to be easy.
Okay, we're going on a quick break. When we come back, we'll try to continue the conversation and bring in more guests to help shed more light on how to detect early and what we can do to keep the awareness going. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining us is the CEO, Invasion Group, who's also a medical radiographer, Mr. Oke Bayode. Also, we have the creative director, the Invasion Group, Abdul Akim Ibrahim. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
So earlier we just spoke to Joan, who was sharing her experience and how it was detected and the procedures she had to do afterwards. But I'd like you to take us back a bit on early detection. What should a woman look out for? I mean, we talk about this every single year, but some people still refuse to pay attention to the issue of breast cancer. So I want you to tell us, as a radiographer, you've obviously come across lots of people that have come for either early or late detection. So what would you advise? How do we start even inspecting before getting to the point where there's stage 2, stage 3, stage 4? All
right, thank you for having me. As I used to say everywhere, that survivors basically are our story, because it seems like breast cancer is overflogged already, like people are talking about it too much. But the truth is, it still happens. The best way to detect early, as you said, is just you looking out for yourself. I mean, there are times that we just touch the breast. It is just very, very, that's what we're advocating for. Just touch your breast. It's yours. You know what it has been before and what it will be when it is abnormal. So when you discover anything abnormal, for breast cancer specifically, when you detect anything abnormal, you go for a checkup. Now, what we do, when we say we do free screening, we usually use a thermography device that just detects metabolic activities in the breast, and then we screen the breast to know if there's any activity actually. So when there's any activity actually, if you are below 40, we tell you to go for an ultrasound, and if you are above 40, we tell you to go for a mammogram. So now from there, we can know if it is just a fibrogranuloma or if it's a lump as a cancerous cell. So probably we're gonna go for a biopsy and stuff.
But go ahead. Sophie.
How often do you come across cases where a lump is found out and is not cancerous? And how many people come like that and they're like really scared and they just find out that it's just a normal lump, it can be taken out and there's no problem?
Yes, when you mean lump, when you mean it is not lump, there are two different things. There could be a mass. There could be
there's always a mass now.
There could be something that comes and goes.
There's no always.
Yes, I mean, it happens. It could be a node. Do you understand? But there are times when, that's what I'm saying, when it is anything abnormal. So when you come into the clinic, we check, and then they can say it's not cancerous. It's just a...
As long as I know my own breast, there's always been a mass. All right. And I go for this kind of checks.
It's
a regular mass. I mean, it's been there forever.
You don't press the boobs like this. You're supposed to use the palm of your hand to check. When you do that, you don't feel anything. When you feel, that means there's something wrong. I've had someone that felt something and it wasn't cancerous, but they took it out. That was why I was asking the question.
Yes, most times, because it will eventually become a risk factor if it's not taken out.
Okay.
So cancerous, what we mean cancerous cell is just a normal cell that is proliferating more than it should. So when it keeps growing, the mass that was taken over, that will be taken over if it is not cancerous, might eventually become cancerous. So that's why they take it out.
Okay, the elephant in the room. Two men talking about breast cancer. What do you know? And then also I'm looking at your ages, you're quite young. Why are you doing this? Why are we sitting down here and two young men talking about breast cancer awareness?
Actually, it started with when we were in school. When I was in final year, I was a medical radiographer. We were going for postings, and then we always see women going through pain, because I was in Luth. I mean, so I went to a private cancer center to do a locum at some point, and then it was like, these are Tush people, these people are not going through any pain. So cancer is not seeming like something very deadly. But in places like Luth, where people have used Ori to rub the breast, they've gone to pastors, they've prayed, and then they're coming at stage 3 or stage 2, where it's just palliative stage. Then you see people go through pain and agony. And then I felt like, I mean, this is actually not their fault, as it were. It's because they were not educated. I mean, we all know about malaria, like malaria and typhoid.
Is it possible in any way that somebody might have used Diori or any of these things that you said, and there was a miracle.
Oh God.
Miracle, I believe miracle, but miracle you say could be just it might not be a lump. So it could
might be the regular mass.
Yes.
Because you know, both of you are partnering together towards an awareness program coming up very soon. We're going to talk about that, but give us why you got into this business of breast cancer awareness, what you do, and how you guys are working together.
Thank you very much. Actually, they are my friends. We grew up together, and of course they are medical radiographers, and like there's a mission to save lives. So, as a public affairs officer, actually I got interested. Like, wow, this is a nice initiative to save people. Actually, my mom has a lump. Okay. It wasn't cancerous, like just a lump. So she actually went to the hospital and the lump was actually removed. So I was like, wow, if it was, yes, that would lead to cancer. And that,
the fear of that.
So I was shocked. My mom, wow, and she's not that old, like she's just in her early 50s. My mom, that's how my mom would have died. So let me join this campaign and let's sensitize people, let's educate people, let's talk to people, so that when people are aware of this kind of thing, so they will actually know what they are the next thing to do. So if you are informed, you actually know the next step you will take.
So now, a lot of people tend to ask, whenever we hear of all those complicated sickness, our mind goes to how much would it cost? How much would it cost? So let's even talk about not the cost of treatment now. You're in radiography. What's the cost of getting fully tested down to mammogram? What's the cost idea? I'm talking both public and sort of private estimates. Thank you.
Right now, there are a lot of foundations. I mean, cancer in Nigeria right now is very loud. We have a lot of foundations doing a lot of outreaches and a lot of treatment, most times free. Like now, I work with in Lasut, but in Bolatin Health and Diagnostic Center. Now, currently they're running free mammograms for people that come in for any test.
And the queue is not too long.
No, the queue, no.
So people can go. Just repeat that so that people would go there.
From 27th to November, to the end of November, they're going to be having free mammogram, yes. And other centers who are doing it too. Okay. But it's just that when you were tested, most times, we are seeing survival rates now. Survival rate of cancer in Nigeria is 10%, as compared to 85% in the US. So when she said she just went through surgery and came, I'm hearing radiotherapy taking radiotherapy every day for 30 days. If you try that in Nigeria in Lut, your pockets will have been empty because you'll be dealing with a lot of, cost.
So that cost is an essential part of this whole process, because I really need people to understand that if you detect it early enough, it will cost hopefully less. It will cost much less.
Yes, way less.
Okay, so there's a question on Twitter, or there's a tweet I want you to respond to. People with breast cancer should watch their diet. How much does what role does diet play in the development of cancer in anybody?
Now, yes, I agree with you. Diet. I mean, not just diet. We have smoking. We have a lot of. They are all called risk factors. Now, but you have hereditary. A lot of them. Now, when we're talking about breast cancer specifically, breast cancer diet. Well, I'm not a dietitian, but then I mean. What we're talking about now is breast cancer, and there's a little amount of effect that diet we have directly on breast cancer. There are other predisposing factors that will come into play for breast cancer, basically.
Okay, let me take Miriam from Apapa. Morning, Miriam. Thanks for calling.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Go ahead.
Good morning, okay, please, I have a question. Just unfortunately, we don't have the doctor on ground, but just maybe he may be able to throw light on that. The first lady mentioned that she discovered hers after breastfeeding. I had an aunt, we lost her anyway. She equally discovered hers after breastfeeding her second baby. So this is about the third case I'm hearing about people discovering after breastfeeding. So I'm wondering, what is the relationship? What is the connection? Why is it that a lot of people discover it after they wean their babies? Does it have anything to do with it?
Thank you very much for that question. I'm not sure if you're qualified to answer that question, but you can try.
Yeah, I could. But this is what we're saying now. for when you're breastfeeding, there are a lot of hormones being secreted in the breast. I mean, there are a lot of activities in the breast. Now, there's there are some people that they have high risk of breast cancer. Those who have now when you have a big breast, and then there's a lot of what we call fibroglandular now in the breast. Now, when the denser they are, the more at risk you have to have breast cancer. Now, when you do a mammogram now, we see a breast that is is highly dense with this fibrous layers. Now, this high risk. So now, when you are breastfeeding, there are a lot of hormones secreted. There are a lot of activities happening with the breast. So, which makes it at risk. Yeah. So now sometimes that's when you see that sometimes the mass multiplies. Yeah. So now when you see that, so when there are a lot of activities happening with that cell. Now this, it's increasing, it's proliferating. That's the truth. It's proliferating.
Okay. So there's a miracle. Let me go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the initiative you're working on, so we can focus on that a bit. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, tell us about the Fashion Incorporated event coming up very soon. Tell us about that, Mr. Ibrahim.
Thank you very much. We have a program coming up from the 27th of October. We actually know October is Breast Cancer Month. So we have this program like Walk Eat Pink. So it's Walk like Fashion Meet Healthcare. So the program will be like from the 20th. We actually did a social media jingle. So we have a few celebrities that actually posted this program on their social media pages, like Lulu's Big Brother Nigeria, Lulu, and then Alex Unusual, and some other celebrities. So that is there on the social media jingles. So the first day will be the walk on the 27th of October this month.
Where is the walk?
So the walk will be coming up from Lasut to Ikeja under bridge, and then back to Lasut.
And I'll be part of
Let me take this call from Jibola. Jibola, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning, ladies.
Go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. I would like to make a quick contribution to the topic being discussed on the program. I'm not sure if you people are aware that a couple of months ago, the Lagos State government, Governor Akinbode procured a mobile cancer clinic, a mobile cancer center that can go from one area to another, and people can get checked at the early stage. From my understanding, if this is detected at the early stage, it could be managed or treated. This mobile cancer costs a lot of money, over 700 million naira, and it has not been put into use.
Wow.
Can you use your platform to reach out to the government of Lagos State to find out from committee encouraging corporate philanthropy?
Where has the access?
What they are doing about how they are using this mobile cancer clinic. Because I think it's just sitting out there doing nothing.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Talk about help us get follow up on that.
What
and
do you
get
know
back
about
to
the
Yes, that was during I think March, April, because we had a major event in April. So now during that event in April, it was Run Against Cancer in Nigeria. We wrote to the Lagos State government, they supported us, that's the Lagos State Ministry of Health. And then in our letter to them, because of in view of the Cancer Mobile Center that was approved, we wrote that we appreciate the State governor, they work with us, thanking them for being part of the struggle, the advocacy, by creating the mobile cancer center. So now, that was since April. And now, till now, there is still no platform, there is still no access to this
mobile cancer center.
That's where I was going.
Okay,
so that means
we'll definitely follow up.
They didn't provide the clinic.
No, they were not to provide us with the clinic.
Don't worry, Murayo. We will find out what is happening.
So let me come to you about the event, because I know the event is very important.
After the walk,
there's a fashion show coming up also?
Yes. So after the walk on the 27th of October, so then we have 2 days of the week that there will be free screening at Bola Tinubu Diagnostic Center in Lasut Ikeja. So that will be 2 days free mammogram screening for everyone. If you're actually interested, you can actually go. So that's free.
I think generally this month, nobody has an excuse not to get tested.
I mean, there are free screenings everywhere.
Corner, because
is mammography for everybody?
Yes.
Or you need to have done, you need to feel a lump before you come for it.
When we say free screening, you come into the center. We do, as I said earlier, the screening with the thermographic device. We do it vitals also. And then if we detect any activity, then we can know where you go to. Either you fall for the ultrasound, no, biopsy, no. Biopsy is when we detect something. So if we go for biopsy, for ultrasound or mammography.
Okay, fantastic. So as I was saying, it's the month of October. Nobody has an excuse. Everywhere, every corner of your state, there's somebody doing something. A lot of NGOs, Lagos State, there's so many other people around doing free screening. Churches, mosques are doing these things. Free screening almost every weekend, back to back. So use this month as an opportunity to get an appointment to at least get checked, because early detection is the cheapest. So yes.
So now the main event. Now the main event is on the 3rd of November. It's a fashion show.
It's also free.
Yes, free.
Okay.
It's a fashion show. This was what's going to happen. We're going to have cancer survivors because they are our story, and cancer patients. Now the truth is that the problem we have with cancer patients and cancer survivors is that the treatment they go through in Nigeria doesn't make them look good afterwards. Now some of them, their palms might be black, no hair, like because of after especially when you do radiotherapy, the site of impact of radiation will not be the way it used to be. So because it is killing cells, it's killing other highly proliferating cells too. So
the fashion show is to make them beautiful.
Is to make them beautiful and make them walk the wrong way.
All right.
Wow.
Yes.
Andrew is saying on Twitter, said things that prevent cancer includes drinking lots of water daily, fresh air, exercising body daily, eating anti-cancer foods like okra and onions.
Like you said.
Can you? I was reading the tweet when I said it. Can you verify, those?
Yes.
Sour soup, tomato.
Yeah, tomato juice. I mean, I hear all that actually. I won't hear them. Okay, yes, fine. You can use them as preventive measures. But the problem is, people now tend to read all these things online, and then they feel a lump and don't go to the clinic. They say, they now say that, okay, no, this is a lump. We'll now say, let's start eating okra. And the only treatment that you have for cancer or any part of the body where you are feeling any abnormality is to see the doctor.
So when you've not seen anything, you can eat plenty of okra, sour sauce, just so I just don't have okra.
Okay, so how often?
Once you see, go and see a doctor.
Do you advise women, like in your 30s, how often should they see a doctor?
Seeing a doctor can be like if I say you should see a doctor like twice every year now, it might seem like a very burdensome.
No, but that's what needs to be done.
If there's an history of hereditary, like anybody in your family has cancer before, you ought to see the doctor at least twice every year.
Wow. All right. Yeah. That's all we can think of the show. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll just be part of the event coming up, because as I said, because the idea is to push as much as possible the awareness. Let people know this month that a lot of good. So next week, also Tuesday, we're going to be having more guests talking about cancer, telling about their stories, sharing their experiences with you, so that you can at least be gingered to get tested.
Ginger.
Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.